We have continuing coverage now on those homeless camps in Flour Bluff parks. A couple of folks who live there took us on a tour of one of those camps today, and they showed our Ashley Portillo something that really illustrates what the problem's about.
So imagine one day you just want to come outside, enjoy the outdoors, and walk along some of the trails in this park. Well, just about 20 feet that way, there are a number of homeless camps set up, and that's what Flour Bluff residents are concerned about here at WALDRON Park. So I decided to come out here and take a look for myself.
I came out here and took a walk through a park and found this. It's not hard.
Trash scattered everywhere. Drugs were found, and there was also a foul smell. What does it smell like out here?
Feces, marijuana, urine.
This is exactly what park visitors like Tony Keith and Joe Kramer are worried about.
And this is one of the many camps that's set up.
There are at least 4 homeless camps no more than 20 feet away from trails that are used daily by park visitors and residents.
And kids are just trying to be kids and be youthful and enjoy the nature and the park. And I just worry about the safety of the children.
The camps are hard to spot because they're hidden in the brush. Nancy Hamilton, a frequent park visitor, didn't even know they were there.
We didn't realize they were as close as they are. It makes me a little nervous being in the park.
This is just one of the issues the new homeless outreach program is going to tackle. It won't be an easy task, but this certainly shows the need for it.
This type of behavior is not normal for our society. It's not healthy for our society. It's not healthy for the environment.
And residents who attended a meeting with city leaders earlier this week say they were told the homeless camps would be removed in a matter of weeks. Ashley Portillo, Chris 6 News.
Now, since city leaders have gotten involved in addressing the homeless problem out there in the Bluff, 2 parks have already been cleared out. Well, last night we showed you some streets over near Staples and Costori's with some really bad potholes. And that story really got a quick response from our city manager, and we'll tell you more about that right after the break.
And we've been waiting for our cold front to blow in, and it has certainly done so already. We have a northerly wind across the region. A live look at our Nissan Automotive 6 weather bug off in Kingsville. We're at 65 right now, and temperature is eventually falling into the upper 50s. We managed 63 and 81 this afternoon ahead of the front with a few showers near the coastline. How is the weekend shaping up? We'll take a look at the full forecast. It's all coming up after this. Stay with us.
Chris 6 News is brought to you by NAC Co-op Energy, your not-for-profit electricity source for home and business. Now, Chris 6 News at 6 continues.
And welcome back. Health officials warning you to be very careful about eating romaine lettuce because of an outbreak of E. coli. The Food and Drug Administration says don't buy or eat any romaine lettuce that was grown in Salinas, California. And don't buy any romaine lettuce if you don't know where it was grown. Now, this current outbreak has already sickened at least 40 people in more than a dozen states. The FDA investigation has led to farms in the Salinas, California area, but the precise source of the contamination has not been identified yet. We have an update now on those pothole-riddled streets near Baker Middle School that we told you about last night. The folks there say through traffic in the neighborhood has really picked up because of the road work on Staples over by Ray High School. And the streets in the neighborhood have really taken a beating because of that. However, the director of street operations told us just there's not enough money right now to address all the complaints that they get about the streets.
It'd be nice if they said they could cancel everything else and focus on streets alone, but it's not going to happen. I realize it's not going to happen that way.
City Manager Peter Zanoni saw our story last night, and the first thing this morning, he sent this repair crew over to that neighborhood, and they've been busy this day patching up the potholes that we showed to you last night. Elsewhere in the local news scene, Jim Lago, a popular longtime radio personality here in the Coastal Bend, is stepping away from the microphone. He announced his retirement on his show this morning. Lago says December 6th will be his last day on the air with KKTX 1360. You may recall Jim was hospitalized back in April after suffering a mild stroke while on the air. He's been a fixture here in the local airways for more than 30 years now. He was inducted to the Texas Radio Hall of Fame back in October of 2016. Now, he didn't mention any plans for the future this morning, but we wish him the very best in whatever he decides to do. Well, the next stop is the West Oso ISD. That's where the RTA unveiled a brand new bus stop today. As you can see, students and staff there fired up for this ribbon cutting ceremony this morning. The bus stop shelter is decked out in red and black, which of course are West Oso signature colors. It also features a very prominent bear, which is the West Oso mascot.
The spirit behind it is that they can come to school. Obviously, we do provide transportation as well, but sometimes they need additional help and support with that. RTA certainly fills those gaps.
Now, this new stop is located right in front of West Oso Junior High. Well, thousands of folks will be headed to downtown Corpus Christi for a Thanksgiving tradition. The annual Thomas J. Henry Turkey Giveaway coming up tomorrow, but today area nonprofits picked up their free turkeys. We'll have more on that.
watching Chris 6 News with Lee Sosley, Katia Udiarte, Alan Harwell, and Dale Nelson. This is Chris 6 News at 6.
The annual Thomas J. Henry Turkey Giveaway is tomorrow, and folks who work at the law firm's downtown office were pretty busy today. That's because there was also a giveaway today for area nonprofits and churches. These volunteers handed out the frozen birds at the office over on Star Street. The folks who picked up turkeys today will distribute them to the folks in the communities that they serve.
We donate to families in need, we're trying to do something good for the community as well.
We're giving them to patients and their families, so we'll be giving that out.
Take that pressure up around the holidays.
Around the holiday season. We're in hospice, so it would mean a lot to them.
Now, tomorrow's giveaway for the public runs from noon until 3 p.m. again at the office there on Star Street here in Corpus Christi. Thomas J. Henry will also be giving away free turkeys in Freer, San Diego, and Alice. Well, a major country music star returning to the American Bank Center early next year, Chris Stapleton, will be performing here on March 11th. Now, Stapleton has 6 #1 songs to his credit, as well as 10 Country Music Awards, 7 ACM Awards, and 5 Grammys.
So if you want to take a look at all the...
By the way, on a side note, SMG, the company that operates the American Bank Center, recently merged with ASM Global. That's a company that operates more than 300 arenas, stadiums, convention centers, and performing arts venues on several different continents. Well, folks in Kingsville saddling up for the annual Ranch Hand Weekend. The 3-day festival starts with the lighting of the downtown Christmas tree tonight, and that's sure to work up your appetite for tomorrow's 29th annual Ranch Hand Breakfast. It runs from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. out on the King Ranch. It's always a great meal, as you just saw, a large plate of fried eggs, refried beans, biscuits and gravy, sausage and tortillas, plus coffee and juice. And you can burn off some of those extra pounds at the Mark Chestnut concert that's coming up Saturday night at the J.K. Northway Exposition Center. Then on Sunday, it is the Cowboy Church at the Exposition Center. And if you head out to the breakfast tomorrow morning, Juan says you need to probably take a coat with you.
6 Weather is brought to you by Aztec Chevrolet in Beeville. Visit AztecAutoplex.com. Now, the most accurate weather forecast in South Texas with meteorologist Juan Acuna.
Hi everyone, this is the Aztec Chevrolet forecast, and that's right, if you're going to be heading out to the Kingsville area, definitely want to take the jacket right along with you. Things are cooling down. We're taking a look at the Aztec Chevrolet 6 weather bug off in Beeville, and lots of clouds and even a little bit of fog early this morning. We see it right there early in the morning, and then once the frontal boundary came through, the clouds took over and the temperatures started to drop. We even had this little video sent in with the cold front arriving out at North Beach from Peggy Saskey, and you can see all the clouds that are lining ahead of that frontal boundary out at North Beach, and a little bit of some virga and some light rainfall falling off into the distance, but a spectacular shot right there. You can see the leaning edge of that frontal boundary and lots of those wave-like patterns associated with the cloud coverage. Most of the rainfall associated with the frontal boundary, which wasn't much to begin with, has now pushed offshore. We're beginning to dry out, getting a little bit of some drier air pushing into the region, but still plenty of cloud coverage is holding onto us at this point as the frontal boundary continues to push down to the south. Our future clouds and radar is showing being a little optimistic and showing some light rain developing right about the midnight time frame, and it is going to be possible to get a couple of little sprinkles, but overall, as we go into tomorrow morning, high pressure will continue to move into the region, and tomorrow afternoon is looking absolutely spectacular for us here. So if you have those weekend plans, go right along with them because the sunshine will stay all the way into Sunday evening. As far as rainfall amounts are concerned, it's just not going to be a whole lot, maybe a few hundredths of an inch of rainfall. We could definitely use more, but any rainfall we get, I'm certainly not complaining about it. We're at 63 now. Water temperature is still holding on to 73. That'll come down within the next several hours or so, but as low as 57 for our friends off in Beeville, and these numbers are anywhere between 5 to 20 degrees colder than what they were this time yesterday, and that's all on the heels of this northerly wind that's checking in at about 10 to 20. So as we look at the evening forecast, we're at 63 now. Again, we're going to hold on to the cloud coverage, a few sprinkles here and there, and eventually falling into the mid-50s. 54 for us here in Corpus Christi, 51 in Sinton, but into the upper 40s for our northern counties. And notice the winds, they do stay a little bit elevated as we head into the early morning hours, making it feel just a tad chillier early in the morning, and then by the afternoon, that will start to relax. So as we look at the day planner, chilly and drier at 7:55, lots of sunshine at noon, 66 there and 68 at 5 o'clock. We'll go for 70 for us here in Corpus Christi, mid to lower 70s inland and into the upper 60s from the Naval Air Station on up to Port Aransas near Ingleside as well. There's the front. Most of the rainfall off in East Texas, off into Louisiana as well. High pressure up to the north. It's pretty cold for those folks, but the upper level low associated with this will move off to the northeast, and over the next several days the cool air retreats. We're going to be under the influence of a zonal flow, so that's high pressure, and the warm temperatures stay with us as we go into next week. So our NEC Co-op Energy 7-day forecast shows 54 and 70 tomorrow, 49, a chilly start on Sunday, 75 in the afternoon. Pretty nice weekend, and then a warming and a humid trend going into next week. Right now Thanksgiving is looking mild, not too hot, but then not too cool either.
Okay, thank you very much, Juan. Well, coming up, another big night of area high school football playoff action. Alan standing by with a preview of the area playoffs right after this quick timeout.
Yes, I can. Yeah, I mean, I've already been trying to get him, and they said he's coming out, so I'm walking closer that way. I've already been talking to coaches about this, so. Okay.
Mic test 1 2 1 2. You got it wide enough where you can see everything, right? Yeah. Okay.
No, I have Coach Campbell. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
We tried getting Danaher, but I don't think he was making it out in time.
Okay.
So you're kind of...
This is the Coastal Bend's most comprehensive high school football show. Friday Night Fever, proudly brought to you by CCRV, keeping RVs affordable and fun.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the early edition of the Friday Night Fever. You know, following big wins by Miller and Refugio last night, the area round of the high school football playoffs resumed tonight. Among the games we will be following closely, Cal Allen takes on Kerrville-Tivy in 4A action up in Floresville, and that's where we find Chelsea Torres. She joins us live from the sidelines from Floresville. Chelsea, how's it going?
Alan, it's going great over here. You know, they've matched up together 7 times in the postseason, so this is not an unfamiliar territory. And of course, I'm here with Cal Allen Wildcats head coach Phil Danaher. Let's talk defensively. We know that you guys have held opponents to 13 points, especially last week. It was a shutout, but Tivy has a dual threat quarterback situation. What are you going to do differently?
Well, I'm sorry about that music, but I don't have any control over that. What we're going to do about their quarterback, we've got to contain him, because he likes to sprint out and throw the ball. He's a good quarterback, good-sized kid, too.